Greetings, everyone. I want to talk a little bit about the scriptures. This is Taifa World, and I want to talk about the scriptures. Something revealed to me a while back, and I had actually forgotten about it. Then it was brought back to me. I said, well, let me make a live right quick. Because when you get these inspirations or downloads, it's important to not put it off, or you may lose it. The idea is that the dual nature of man, the dual nature of man. And as you see, I don't have my kufi on because I'm talking outside of my faith, in a sense that I be talking about the Bible, which is not the primary book of my ancestors. So that's why I'm not in my traditional attire. The dual nature of man in the Bible, and I use the Bible because most people in America are Christians, and I think you can understand it from a Christian perspective rather than a foreign perspective, foreign to your way of life. The dual nature of man. Now that I've said that 3 times, that was on a purpose for getting you to get your subconscious working on that topic. What do we mean, the dual nature of man? You probably know what I'm talking about. Good and evil. That's the primary message in the scriptures. It's good and evil. You could say love and hate. Remember, there's a thin line between love and hate. And the reason why it's a thin line, because all of this relate to the principle of nature called polarity. All polarity is that everything is related. They only polar opposites of one another. Now we know the opposite of love is not the opposite of hate. The opposite of love is not hate, it's really indifference. But for the purpose of this demonstration, let's say it is hate. When you take a pole, one end you put hate, and the other end you put love or indifference, and you start bringing them closer together, you can say, well, really, there's no love or hate. There's no difference. The less indifferent you with someone, the more you love them. The less you love someone, the more indifferent you are to them. So the point is that when you look at the dual nature of man, it's explained in the Bible. I'm going to give 2 examples. I'm going to give an example of Cain and Abel, and an example of Jacob and Esau. Now, Cain, the one who slew his brother, Abel, because his gift was, Abel's gift was accepted, and Cain's gift was not accepted. And another way you can say it is that the law of the Lord was partial to the law was more partial to Abel than Cain. And while we're talking about that example, let's talk about Jacob and Esau. Esau disguised himself and deceives his father, and robbed the birthright from Jacob, who was the firstborn, who was supposed to have the blessings of his father. So we speak of dual nature of man, we talking about something that's in every person. Inclinations do right and inclinations do wrong. These stories are just given for you to understand it in a practical way. In other words, what's being said is that Cain and Abel is one person. The good nature, or let's say the higher self, the propensity to do good, and the lower self, the propensity to do evil, they both exist in each one of us. The struggle on this earth is to make sure the good rule over the evil in yourself. That's where self-discipline comes. Telling yourself no. When something comes to you as a temptation or something you know is wrong, you don't think about doing it. You quickly say, no, I'm not doing that. That's a lesson I get from it. Now, I'm not telling you to believe as I believe, or I'm just giving you my understanding, and I'm sharing it with you. And I like you to do your own research, your own study, and see what you come up with. But let's say there's some validity to the idea of a man having dual nature, because you can see it. We all have it. So these stories was to just draw it out. And it wasn't telling that something outside of you most people don't believe in that. Because when you do the good in you, you being God. You just take away one O, right? When you're doing the evil in you, you're doing things backwards. And you spell evil backwards is devil. EVIL, or live. You're living backwards. That's evil. Write it down. Write the word evil down. It's spelled live backwards. You're living backwards because you're letting the weaker part of yourself control what's supposed to be your stronger self. Because made in the image of the Creator, you're not supposed to let evil take over you. You're supposed to control evil. And we can relate this to the story of Adam and Eve as being one person. Eve was a weaker part of Adam. And he did not control the weaker part of himself. Think about it. You know, you may need to listen to this a few times because I speak slow and most people are not used to hearing the cadence of someone who speaks like me. So you may have to really re-listen to it. And for those who are not in America, I know I have an accent to you. So you need to go back and listen. I ask you to go back and listen at least 3 times and see if you can get the idea I'm sharing with you. We all have a dual nature. When you're practicing the way you're created, making the good part the dominant side, you being God. Failure to do that, you being evil, what they call the other fellow, right? The evil or devil. So you can continue to look outside yourself if you want to, but all nature bear witness that we have a dual nature. Well, this took less time than I thought it would take. I thought it would take about 20 minutes. But I think I did a good job in the 10 minutes I had. So there it is. I did it. I'm not going to not do what I'm commanded to do. If I have an inspiration that may help you, it has helped me, then I'm going to share it. And those who are my subscribers, I want to thank you for your. I see you coming back more and more. Listen to the videos. I appreciate that. Soon we'll be able to dialogue online and get better acquainted. All right, that's it for now. Till more for me.